Hello, and welcome back to another special episode of the Dream Printing Podcast. I'm Polly Payne, your host. I am the creator of the Dream Planner and the founder of Horacio Printing. So, in this episode, I am interviewing an incredible print school alumni. Her name is Kathleen. She is the creator of Soft Minimal Wellness, and her journal is absolutely stunning. And I wanted to bring her on to really share her story and what her journey was like. And if you have an idea to create a paper product, whether that's a devotional or a journal or a planner, a calendar, a diary, anything paper related, you're in the right place because I have my program Print School, which helps you really get your idea out of your head and into your hands. You can learn more about Print School at horacioprinting.com/print school. It is an application-based program, so you have to fill out an application, submit it, and then you are accepted into the program. And then we also have a free workshop for you if you really want to understand the dream printing method. Maybe you have a really specific question on the timeline, the process, how it works, how much it costs, anything like that logistically. I would love to invite you to my free workshop. Go to horacioprinting.com/workshop and you can learn more there. Without further ado, I'd love to introduce you to Kathleen. Welcome back to the Dream Printing Podcast. I am so excited to bring you another incredible alumni interview from Print School. I have the one and only Kathleen, and she is the founder of Soft Minimal Wellness, which speaks to my heart so much. I am a huge fan of minimal design and luxury paper products, and that is what she has created. It's so stunning. I cannot wait to hold one in my hands. We're going to take a look at hers in just a minute, but I just want to welcome Kathleen to the show.
Thank you so much, Polly, for having me. I'm so excited to chat all things journaling and wellness.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. So tell us a little bit about Kathleen. Where do you live? What do you love to do? Obviously, journaling.
Sure. So I'm Kathleen. I am based in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. It is absolutely stunning. I actually recently relocated here within Canada, so it's been quite a whirlwind, but also an inspiration behind Soft Minimal Wellness, which is a lifestyle and wellness brand I started that focuses on intentional self-care. And I am a lover of everything wellness and self-care rituals, being mindful, and really creating that space for people to prioritize themselves and making self-care an easy way to integrate into their lives without it having to be another thing to check off a list. So
Mm,
really creating those accessible, practical tools for those to prioritize themselves before getting to life's demands.
mm.
So really excited to talk more about that and of course my daily self-journal.
Yeah. So self-care. I feel like I could use a little more of that. Maybe the people watching can also use more of that. Well, I'm going to ask you a couple questions about that just because I want to dig into self-care a little bit. So, what there's so many things we can add in, right? Morning routine, night routine, drink your water, which like I have right here. I need to drink it. What has been some of the more life-changing self-care practices that you've put into place that you were maybe surprised that it made such a huge difference for you?
One of them that stands out is definitely cultivating gratitude.
Mm,
It's so it seems like it can be quite intimidating to, start a gratitude journal and, you need to add something in every day at a specific time. But even just thinking about three things, for example, that you're grateful for each day really sets the tone and puts things into perspective with your life, as well as helps you move along towards your goals or what you envision in life. I found that it really helped me to be present in the moment as opposed to constantly striving, to the next thing. I feel so often we are bombarded with, tons of to-do lists and are just our
mhm.
everyday on the go lifestyle that we're not able to really sit back, reflect, and take the time to think about all the things that we already have right now and that we're so grateful for. So that has been definitely quite life changing for me and
Mhm.
something that I've integrated into my daily self-care practice for sure.
Amazing. That's really good. I was a part of a group for a while where I would have to text somebody in the morning. I think it would know in the morning I texted three goals, and at the evening I texted things I was grateful for. And I stopped doing that. And it like that just brought me back. I was like, that was really powerful. And it's so easy with self-care to think, I don't have time for it, or I don't deserve this luxury of stopping. But it's almost like even though it takes time, it creates more space even though it takes time. It's almost like an oxymoron of like, yes, this is going to take time to invest in, but it's going to create more space to live in, which is just wild. So let's talk about the journal. I want to see it. Hold it up. I've already seen all the photos. It's absolutely
Yeah.
stunning.
So here is, it's called My Daily Self Journal. So just to walk you through,
Mhm.
the format or what it's all about, it is a 3-month journal. And so just a little backstory of how this all began. When I first started journaling, which was way back when I was a teenager, and I remember going to the store and actually physically deconstructing journals to make them into my own and really being creative with it and adding stickers and all of that. So as I continued on with my self-care rituals as I grew up, I continued to find journals, but it wasn't really something that suited my lifestyle. So I always found that there was either too much space to write or too many guided prompts and not a good balance of the two. And so I just had this idea to create my own journal for the longest time, and it just wouldn't go away. And so finally, it was actually during a time where it was actually quite stressful. I was preparing to move and there was other things going on, but I knew that I just needed to make this idea into a reality. And that's when print school came in because, there's other ways that you can create a journal, but something that was really important to me was the quality of
Mm.
the journal and just being able to put, be part of it every step of the way and be part of the whole creative process. So this is the end product, which is my daily self journal. It's meant to be something for the user that's quite personal, for them to really have ownership over it, and able to really customize it whichever way the user feels. So there is a section here that has the daily entries. It also is undated, so there's no pressure to add it in every day. Again, this is meant to be something that's what feels best for you. And so, it helps you with gratitude, setting your intentions for the day, how you will practice self-care. And it's also a way of, you were mentioning being able to text someone what you're grateful for, a way of being accountable and
Mm.
being able to refer back to these pages to see also, how your sleep is doing and your energy, things that stressed you out that week that you could look back on and see your progress. And so you'll also find weekly reflection prompts here and monthly, an area for monthly reflections and also
Mhm.
affirmations along the way to just help encourage you. Because I know that sometimes when you're going through different things, it can be quite challenging. And just to have that safe space, no judgment zone to reflect, write your thoughts, write ideas down, really whatever comes to your mind. And that's also what the what's on your mind pages are for. Again, the extra space just to like let things go. And I've always found that just releasing things from like your mind to paper has been so therapeutic for myself. And
Oh,
there's
yeah.
so many different, digital tools you could utilize. But I found that like a physical journal, I've always been like a pen to paper type of person, has been the most effective. So there's also in the kind of beginning sections here an introduction to the journal, how to use it, what is a self-care ritual. It's meant to really be a place for everyone, even if you're just starting out journaling and not something that's going to be intimidating or you need to follow a specific um, way of filling it out. It's really meant for the user to feel free and, a way for them to customize it themselves.
That's amazing. Processing your life is so powerful. There's nothing more like that's the essence of growth and even like going to therapy. A lot of it is, I'm not saying you shouldn't go to therapy if someone watching needs to go to therapy. Love therapy. Big fan. But a big part of that is processing. I've been journaling since I was 5. I'm probably still as good of a speller as I was back then. And I have those like little old journals from like the book fair at school, when you go and you get your little planners and journals. It's so powerful. It's also really powerful to see your intentions and see the things that you've brought to fruition because you set an intention. That's a big part of it. Part of it is setting the intention, part of it is showing up for yourself, and part of it's just processing life. So many things we hold on to. And if we hold on to things, especially negative things like bitterness or resentment and pain and we don't process it, it can eventually like seep into our heart and steal our joy and steal our dreams for the future. And so I have gotten back into journaling so much as well. I'm a obviously big pen to paper gal myself. And so I love what you've created. I think it's a really powerful tool. If someone is going through a season and you're ready to process some things, you're ready to grow, you're ready to see yourself go to the next level and become the next version of yourself, this is a great tool. And it's like you said, it's not like, oh, I have to get through this in 90 days. It's pick it up when you pick it up. There's grace. It's undated, which I love that. I love the grace of an undated planner. So would you recommend this is something maybe you keep in your bedside table and like you look at it in the morning and the night? Is that how you work it into your routine?
Yes, so I personally have found that reflecting in the morning, I find when my mind's clear before I get, into emails or really start my day, just taking even a few minutes, jotting down a few notes, setting my intentions really sets my day up for success in terms of knowing what I'm going to do to prioritize my self-care, whether that's, taking a break or stepping away from the computer, getting some fresh air, things like that, or even reconnecting, with people that I haven't seen for a while, really prioritizing that
Mm,
as well. At the end of the day, reflecting, writing anything that has been on my mind, I find that writing down things that I'm stressed about really has helped my sleep and
mm,
therefore has affected my energy levels, which you could also track in the journal. And just looking back at, the past few months and what the different challenges I went through and also the different successes. What's inspired me is been a great way to reflect and just look back at my progress. And, I've heard of people using it, they've taken it on with their travels and it's a good size that you could just pop it into your bag. And that was another when I was creating it, I thought about, how can people use this so that it is versatile and also accessible.
mhm,
Again, not really having rules that were set in stone, making it quite flexible for the user to use it whenever they had the time or felt like they needed that extra moment for themselves. So, um, always inspired by to see how people are using it and how it's supporting
yeah.
their well-being journey.
That's so exciting. So I'm so proud of you, honestly, like just launching your brand, the quality and the excellence that you've created with your brand, your photography. We were just talking before we jumped on the interview. I was like, who did your photography? And you were like, I did it with my iPhone. Like, you did such a fantastic job launching this brand. Everyone needs to go check out her website. It's softminimalwellness.com. Such a beautiful brand and obviously a beautiful product. So everyone needs to go check it out. I'm curious, from entrepreneur to entrepreneur, product launcher to product launcher, what was it like when you started to get that feedback from people using the thing that was, a dream of yours for so long? What did that feel like, kind of getting some feedback?
Thank you for that, first of all. I would say that it's a very obviously it's a joyful feeling, but it's so strange. It was a new feeling for me, like I had not, before this had any knowledge about, starting a business, let alone creating and launching a product. So when people started to purchase it that I didn't know, it wasn't like family and friends, it was just such a like fulfilling feeling. The goal of this was to help others. And so knowing that someone had the journal in their hands, was using it to support their well-being and to support their self-care and self-growth was just a rewarding feeling. And it just never gets old. Like anytime I hear about feedback or just the ways people are using it, how it's helped them in any way or improved their well-being, it's just an amazing feeling. And it just always inspires me every single time. And I just get so excited and giddy about it every single time. So it's like an amazing feeling, as I'm sure you know as well. Knowing the journey it took to get to that point, from the sketches to the various different prototypes and going through the different paper quality and the different printers and, overcoming the different challenges to finally have that end product and someone using it is just an incredible feeling.
It's like birthing a baby. I mean, it's a whole thing. Like, it takes about 9 months, sometimes a little less, sometimes more. But it's a beautiful journey. So it was really fun to watch you go through that and see you on the other side with a beautiful brand. So tell us again where they can find you in all the places. So repeat your website name and maybe your Instagram handle.
Sure. So you can learn more about my daily self journal, and we also have other printable resources at softminimalwellness.com. As well, on Instagram, we have an amazing, thriving community and a supportive space to learn about any self care tips and to just chat about what's going on in your life and how we can support that. And that's at SMWLLNESS on Instagram. So we'd love to have you there and we'd love to connect.
Yay! Well, everyone, go connect with Kathleen. Go check out her website. Go check out the freebies she so generously has on her website as well to get started. And we just want to challenge everyone to take a moment to be intentional with your self-care, especially in this season that we're in, right? We're in 2025, 2024. I'm already living in 2025. This end of year is going to be a tricky season, with everything going on, especially for those of us in the US, with an election year, with everything going on globally, right? There's a lot of things that can affect us and our mental health. So this is such a great time to say, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm gonna take some time for some self-care. I'm gonna be intentional. I'm gonna unplug from social media. I'm gonna unplug a bit from my devices, and I'm gonna grab my journal, my cup of tea, and I'm gonna pour into me. So thank you so much for creating that resource, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Polly. Thank you for this opportunity. It was great to chat.